Hello everyone, and hello Jojo. It's been a while since we have not seen MKOI play, so how are you and the rest of the team feeling right now? Also, how did you manage these 2 weeks of preparation because you don't know who you're going to face next, right?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't played in a while, of course. I think we're just preparing in scrims, trying to make our strengths even stronger while fixing our weaknesses. So I think everybody has a good idea what weaknesses we have and what strengths we have, and we're trying to capitalize on the good things, of course, while fixing the bad things. So I think the progress is going pretty well. I think as for the prep, I mean, of course, we don't know who's going to win, case you're Fnatic, right? So I think we're preparing for both teams. I think both teams are similar in some ways, in
Okay.
a lot of ways, actually. So, yeah, that's up to the coaches. That's hence it is makes a scouting reports, and then we just go over all their patterns and everything. And the team also looks at the games on their own. So I think we already have a good idea how they play, and we're going to see how they play tomorrow, and then we're going to build off that.
And what's your bet on who you'll face, actually?
I'm not too sure. It's pretty close. Like Casey Fnatic, I honestly think it's very 50-50.
Okay.
Not even like a PR answer. I just think legit whoever shows up better on the day will take it. I think both are pretty close teams. I think KC this year I'm pretty sure always beats Fnatic, right? But I think of course with the six-man roster and I think KC's not playing as well.
Yeah.
I think Fnatic is also they're fine. I think both teams are fine. When they play good, they're good. When they don't, they're not, so they're very inconsistent. So that's why it's hard for me to say who will come out on the day. I could see like the Spain buff, Madrid buff, maybe for Fnatic. If that gets into KC heads, I can also see KC using that as a opportunity to make it more fun. It's all about mindset. So yeah, whoever has a stronger mental, honestly, better
And
mental, but better prep.
and like, do you feel like, because you said it's more 50-50, like, do you feel like G2 is on a different level from these two teams right now?
I think they are in the sense that they're more consistent. I think when Fnatic and KC are playing at their highs, they're good teams, but yeah, I think they're too inconsistent. So I think us and G2 are the most consistent teams right
Yeah.
now, which is why we're at the top. So yeah, I don't think when every team is at their peak, I don't think G2 is much better. But I just think when you saw like G2 versus Fnatic, for example, I just think they're more consistently better, which is why they're them and us are on top right now. So
Okay, so to talk about more about you personally, because you are the first NA import to EU, I have to ask you, you're close to completing so your first year in Europe, right? After 3 years in LCS, so would you say this is the year where you feel like you evolved or progressed the most? Or maybe was it 2022 with EG? Like, how would you rank this year so far compared to the others in terms of individual growth?
yeah, I mean, I think that's a great question. I think this year is my biggest individual growth as a
Okay,
player. I think not only gameplay wise, I think just as an athlete, how I prepare and my mental and everything. I think in LCS, I used to think I had a good preparation and I had good mindsets and everything, but I think I was a bit naive, which I
okay,
think honestly the vast majority players in the league are, to be honest.
okay,
Just I think in league and esports.
okay,
I mean that's what I noticed. I think so I really learned this year how important preparation and mindsets and everything is. You know, there's the gameplay. Yeah, very talented players that just don't play to their level on stage, you know, and I think I just didn't realize how important preparation was and how important mindset was. So I would say in that aspect, for sure, that's the most I grew this year by far. I would say gameplay wise, of course, too. I would say those two combined is why this year has been the biggest improvement for me by far. And then I'll probably say it's 20, 2022 because I was just a rookie coming in. I just
yeah,
didn't know
sure.
anything at all. And then I had very good teammates to help me, improve. So I was very clueless about the game. I was just good mechanics. So I would say it goes this year and then 2022.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so staying on that topic, after 2022, actually, it's no secret things got tougher for you and your like next teams. Would you say that joining MKOI this year has been kind of a breath of fresh air for you and your career? That maybe you really needed that in a way, and because you had a title, 3 international appearances now, things you hadn't had in the past 2 years, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think in Europe, it's much more, I feel there's much more passion,
Okay.
not only from just the team, but just from the fans too. I think the fans are very passionate. I think everything is much more passionate. Of course, the LCS, there's a lot of passionate players and fans too, but out in Europe, whether it's because the player base, there's more people or there's more fans or whatever it is, I just feel that there is a more there's more passion, so that's very it's very easy to get influenced by that and to also spark a fire in the team, right? So I think I really enjoyed that a lot, just how competitive everybody is and how much everybody wants to improve. So I think that's the yeah, I would say joining MKOI was really good in the sense that it just lit a new fire in me that I didn't know I had and how to evolve past the game and how important really everything is compared to just gameplay wise. So yeah, I would say it's the best decision.
And to talk more about gameplay wise, I remember back at MSI 2022, especially against G2, where Caps, gave you a really hard time in the side lanes, right? And what stood
Mm.
out to me this year is how much you've grown in that aspect. I'm particularly thinking about the series against BLG. Sure, there were a few mistakes here and there, but in your side lane play, even against one of the best in the world, I felt like you were more disciplined and much more precise. So would you say
Yeah.
that's the area of the game where you've improved the most this year, or do you see anything else?
Yeah, for sure. Because I think in NA, my side laning was honestly my weakest points,
Okay.
which is weird because right now I feel like it's my
Yeah.
this year it's been my best. So
Yeah.
I really try to put emphasis on improving my side lane. And even Knights, I mean, I'm very honored that he even complimented. I think it's
Yeah.
a misunderstanding, but he didn't compliment my lane, but he complimented my side lane. So I felt very appreciative of the comments and just how much I worked this year on fixing my weaknesses. So yeah, I would say versus G2 and MSI 2022, I think G2, of course, were a really good team. Caps it was very good, and was pretty clueless. So of course, it was very hard matches, and yeah, versing Caps now, of course, he's still very good, but I just understand much more about the game now. So I felt like back then, even when I versed Asian teams or when I versed G2 in 2022, I didn't really understand the details that they're doing or what separates them from us. But now it's much more clear what are the
Yeah.
differences between the best in the world and us. So it's much easier to learn. So yeah, I think the knowledge just got increased for sure.
And I know it might be a bit early to ask you about this, but we're also approaching the end of the year. If you had to look ahead, what would you like for your future and the rest of your career? Not necessarily like next year, but do you think you'd like to go back at NA at some point, or maybe even Korea? Some rumors suggested back then. Maybe you want to build your legacy in Europe. Like, yeah, how do you see the like far future for Jojopyun?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about it. I've never thought about it too deeply
Yeah, sure.
because I'm in the present, so I'm just going to focus on whatever happens right
Yeah.
now. But it would be exciting to play in LCK, just to see how it is. Going back to NA or staying in Europe, I'm not sure. I really enjoyed playing in both. Like I really enjoyed playing in Europe. I really enjoy playing in MKOI, and also, of course, I enjoyed playing in LCS. So it's a very hard question to ask because I think more of the region, it's more of the team
Yeah.
that I care about more. Just like what's their goal, what are their values, what are their views, and if it aligns or if it makes sense to what's my main goal is, and if I will enjoy the process on that team, if I will enjoy, if I really feel they have the passion and the fire. I think those are the most important. So yeah, I don't know if I'll stay in Europe or go back to NA or maybe go to LCK. I mean, just whatever opportunity comes, I'm very happy in Amkoy, so I don't really have any thoughts about moving
Okay.
anytime soon.
No
So
problem.
yeah.
Obviously, as you said, you have a very passionate fan base here at MKOI. And this weekend, you'll be playing in front of thousands of them, even if I guess you gotten used to that kind of support from them, right? But it's still something new for you. So, and this time, like, the stakes are higher than ever, right? So, does that feel
Yeah.
like extra pressure or more like extra motivation?
I mean, it's just enjoyment. I think one of the best things about being a pro player is being able to experience playing on the biggest arenas because I think there's no other feeling like
Yeah.
playing in the biggest arenas. You hear everything, the noise, you hear the vibrations, the shaking. It just feels so much more alive, like everything matters, every play, there's going to be so much noise, so it just feels so much more fun. So I always really enjoyed, I think every pro honestly really enjoys playing on the big stages. I think you can't hate it. So for me, I'm just taking it as I'm just grateful for the opportunity, especially it's in Madrid. So I mean, I'm assuming it's mostly going to be MKOI fans, right? Who knows? Maybe that would be mostly KC fans or I don't know,
There will be
Fnatic
some
fans,
for
but
sure. There will be some, but I
there'll be some. But
think,
I'm expecting,
yeah.
I'm expecting mostly to be MKOI fans. So I mean, really grateful to be able to play in a big arena because the last show match was very fun, and it was also in Spain. So I had probably the most fun of the whole year there, and at MSI, and now we're back here, especially in playoffs. I really wish. we would be able to qualify for Worlds here because I feel like if you're playing a qualifying match for
Yeah.
Worlds in this arena, it'd probably be the best feeling
Yeah,
ever.
that's true.
If you win, I mean, if you lose, that sucks, but it would suck anyways, you know. But I think if you qualify for Worlds here, it'd be crazy. But you know, it's still the finals and still the lower bracket finals. So yeah, I'm just gonna take it in as a really enjoy the moments, and yeah, that's all.
And like, do you have any final word before we close the interview for all those fans that will come to root for you?
Yeah, I mean, thank you to all the fans supporting us. I know there's so many fans that support us and the team and me, and I'm very appreciative of that. And for us, the team is working really hard to try to win back to back. So yeah, we're gonna try our hardest to win back to back and bring another trophy.
Thank you very much, Jojo.
Thank
Good
you.
luck for what's next, and yeah, see you in Madrid.
Thank you. See
See
ya.
you. Bye bye.
See ya.